But you'll see now I go over and I push this in. You notice I'm not going over the whole thing with that little bristle brush, right? Just get in there, get the stain on it, work it in, kind of pressurize it. All right, hey guys, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be touching these chairs up. These are old chairs. We've already cleaned them and washed them off, and we're going to turn them back into this. This is overstain we're applying. So they've already been pre-finished, and if you watch the other videos, now we're going to start and apply the stain over the finished lacquers. These had already started flaking off a little bit, and so we resealed up the areas that were just bare wood, you know, and gave them a little finish. And now we're applying the overstain, and you do this just, you know, you don't have to go too heavy on it. You don't have to go too heavy. This is just getting it into the cracks and such, and all this will be coming off. And one good thing about staining over something that's already been sealed up is it really doesn't soak in at all. This is only for getting into the smallest little cracks and crevices. Now, this is a Sherwin Williams stain. This is their BAC stain, okay? And it's a penetrating stain, but it's a solvent-based stain. So it'll be dry in an hour, and even sitting on the tops of a finish like this, you can easily adjust it, leave it on for a bit longer if you want, and it's not going to affect it so bad. But you'll see now I go over and I push this in. You notice I'm not going over the whole thing with that little bristle brush, right? Just get in there, get the stain on it, work it in, kind of pressurize it, right? Work it down into all your little spots. And don't be so gingered. You don't got to be crazy. I got this going on over that one. Right, turn this around here, right? Now you see how I'm putting that on? And I can do this whole chair, or this whole backside right now, right, in just a couple of minutes. Where if you sat there and tried to do this with a brush, it would be dry before you got up and down one leg. All right, so now we stop it right there. Now you take it off, all right? And it's a good idea to use both hands, all right? And you see how I'm not just going with the grain? Like, I'm not doing it like this, right? I'm going over everything in kind of like you would say a quick manner, but the only reason is so it all comes off even, and I'm going to go back over and detail it, but look at how fast it's already off, right? Well, we didn't waste any time. Now what we're going to do is we're going to place it up here on top, and now we go over the fine details of it, all right? And like all the little splatters that hit down here, they don't affect anything. You see, it doesn't really change the surface much, right? Now, if you have carvings and recessed areas, you want to blow those out of there, right? You see how that stain works itself back out? You want to make sure you get that out, because these have been refurbished, and it'll cause your things to fail on you a little bit. Right. There you go. You get now you got plenty of time. We're not in any rush. This is just how fast you do it. You know, you don't got to make it an all-day project when you got 10 chairs in your house. You know, if you got one chair and you're trying to do it all day, take your time. That's one thing, but in the profession, or just when you don't want it to be a chore, right, do it like this. Transformation happens right before your eyes, right? Now, we normally work ourselves down, right? Start at the top and work down. And then you see when I put the stain on there, I don't just start pushing it all of a sudden right into the heavy areas, because it's too flooded, right? So I just hit it in there lightly. We don't need a lot. Okay, now I'm just going to work on this top, and then I'll move on to the bottom, and I'll show you how we do that. You see? Now this is just going in the finest little recesses of the lacquer and the small micro cracks. you don't need to even leave it on. You could sit there and leave it if you wanted, but there's no real time change. It's not gonna darken much more unless you really airbrushed it on, which we'll do that in other videos. Okay, so now I'm gonna take wherever these screw holes are. Again, it just acts like those spots. You don't want any stain to hang up and be sitting in there before your finish has a chance to dry. Now when we do these bases, what we're gonna wanna do is cut them all the way around, and you pick a corner. Like I'm gonna start right here, and I'm just gonna walk this around like this, and then I'm gonna paint all these little back edges, right? All in these deep grooves. I want that done, and about this fast. Again, you don't need to sit here, and you're not gonna be brushing this stain on. You guys are wasting your time. I'm not doing this because I'm trying to be in a hurry. I'm doing this because I got things to do today, right? You know what I mean? So, act like that. And if you're doing this for somebody else, they're gonna love you. You don't have to charge them so much because it didn't take you 3 days, right? Now, with a lot of stain, now look at my stain rag. I'm not sitting here with a stain rag that's empty or just got the little pad of stain on it. Put your stain on, wring it out, right? We're gonna start right here on these little scrolled areas, right? And see, when I get to these curves, pick up your feet, rub them in, rub them all the way around, right? Now, the reason I don't have to wipe this off right away, because I'm putting it on right away. And I'll take it off just about as fast as I'm putting it on. You know? You guys keep making a mountain out of a molehill. It's not necessary. Not necessary. All right, look at that. Done. Now, we start taking it off. Look, with 2 rags, nice and loose. Again, rub it so it comes out of those little notches and such. All right? And this is our first wipe off. We're gonna go around and do it all again and get the finest details, but you can't do that the first pass. Notice how you flip your rags around a lot? Keeps you from just restaining your piece. So, hey, thanks for joining us, guys. This is how we do it in the big city. Actually, out in the country, so welcome. Appreciate you hanging out with me and watch this place transform. All right? Something you guys can do to your own furniture. Look at that. Look at that. Nothing to it when you know how to do it, guys. Nothing to it. And I'm going to teach you how to do it. How about that? Okay, now we can stand back and we take a look, get the overall view, make sure we haven't missed anything. And look at that. It's just like you don't even need to touch it. And a good thing to do is to turn these dogs over, right? Check your underside. You see where you get like little bits of crap, get little edges and stuff. This turns you into a professional, right? You want to be the best you can be, give them the best products they can have, and you'll go far. All right, that looks beautiful. Okay. You get into these small little zones like this, all right? It's nice to do. Shrink down your rags. I don't know what happened to my little tiny one, but just cram your rag in there like this and move up and down, all right? And this gets them fine little spots out that you may take, half your day working on trying to get it looking pretty. Just know you're gonna do it. And again, this ain't drying. It'll be dry to spray in an hour. It's probably even less because it's been finished, but to give yourself your time, nothing to it. Okay. It's always a good idea to set it down and take a look from a different angle and see where you might have missed. Okay. Spin it into the light, because you can see something at one angle and different at the next. Look at that, beautiful. So there you go. Let's take you around on the next phase of it. We'll spray these up with a lacquer top coat and watch these things completely transform. You're gonna be surprised. So thanks for watching, and we'll just keep this going for you. Now we've got it all pre-stained up. let's pre-lacquer it and show you how it transforms into this. All right, so watch it happen. All right, so when you're doing chairs, what you want to do is start from these inside edges and your bottoms. Let's get all that done first so the oversprays don't land on anything else. Even the bottoms of these lids, if you can spray them ahead of time, it really keeps the oversprays off. So let me show you the process of how we put it on the lacquer on the chairs. Thanks for hanging out with me. Now those are the most used parts on that chair, them bottom feet. Now when you flip these over, make sure you don't put it back in the same wet spot that you just did. All right, so we're going to start at the top and we're going to work ourselves down. Watch how this goes. Now we start up here. All right, so now when you do the base, you just start on one position. Like we're gonna start right here on the back of this leg and we'll finish over here. Here's how you do that. See that? How pretty is that? Always a good idea to wet the inside of your edges like that. Helps blend everything in. Alright, look at that. Nothing to it when you know how to do it, guys. And I'm going to teach you how to do it. So thanks for watching. Appreciate your support. See you on the next one. And I'm going to probably put it right there. See you then.